Thanks for the audience to join today's panel. So it is very important to bring together valuable information. I think it will be a very informative panel about marine transportation. So firstly, let me introduce myself. I am Murat Karagöz, urban and transport planner. I'm working as a transport specialist focused on the mobility functional area in the Smart City Directorate. So I basically produce projects and give support ongoing projects in every area where the transportation and traffic intersect with other directorates. Today, I will make a presentation about the data and the marine transportation and discover together how we can use marine transportation more effectively by using data. So let me screen my share. Yeah. Can you see? Yeah. Okay. So the information technology department is working on some studies within the transportation and traffic excellence project. As part of these studies, şehir hatları vision model outputs were analyzed to show a relationship between the data and planning. So let's talk about the study. Firstly, the macro model was run in the Visu, the most famous transportation modeling program, using the trip values on the October 8th, as you can see from here. So this was made for the new lines for şehir hatları. It clearly shows the relationship of the existing lines and the new lines with the other transportation preferences. So let's together what I mean. First of all, the şehir hatları were evaluated in two parts, as like the local lines and the Bosphorus lines. The local lines are the lines that serving the horizontal axis, like here, and the Bosphorus lines that the lines can stop at many intermediate stops serving along the Bosphorus Straits, like as you can see the blue pads. So when we look at the graphics, when we look at the graphics, according to number of trips, it's clear that the passenger numbers of the local lines are higher than the Bosphorus lines, especially since the lines are short and short on the side of the transit time. So we can check them. So when we enlarge the graphics, and we can see the number of the passengers and the actual and the model vision. So we can analyze how it's going to be changed according to the model. So so what we have, it is that the model outputs help us to make inferences about the current status of the lines and their relationship with the post-model capacity, the number of trips, and the other modes. So when we look at the local lines, the most preferred lines, the places are where the other transportation modes are centralized. So as you can see, the KDK and the BŞK, it's called Kadıköy, Beşiktaş, Üsküdar. So this area are the transfer centers. As living in Istanbul, I mean, as a person living in Istanbul, we know this area, the transport centers, but since the database analyzes support this idea, so we can say that it is a consistent result for someone who doesn't know about Istanbul. So the importance of that data becomes meaningful here, analyzing and interpreting the current situation. So let's move on to the next page. Here are the 5 new lines, and we see the number of trips, the directions, and the number of the model passengers and the distance of the 2 points. And here we can see that the highest demand is between the Sarıyer and Beykoz. Sarıyer is the European side, and Beykoz is the Anatolian side. So in terms of the location, they are very close to each other, like 5 kilometers, as you can see from here, like scope of the sea transportation. So, in the end, we can say that this line, this new line, Sarıyer Beykoz, creates a good alternative between the 2 points, because without any ferry lines, I mean, to şehir hatları, a person who wants to go to Beykoz from Sarıyer, he or she must use the bridge to go there, and it's not efficient. So, and also, when we look at the passenger demands for the other lines, so it is very possible to see the same relationship between them. So, in the next stage of our analysis, we see the transfer between the districts. So the map on the left shows us the transfer from the other transportation modes to şehir hatları. The map on the right shows the transfers from the şehir hatları to other transportation modes. So it is possible to increase the use of the şehir hatları with integrated system, as Mr. Orhan Demir said, to build in places where there is a people who are not close to any şehir hatları. So when we look at the graphics, Üsküdar is the district that receives the most transfers to şehir hatları with the use of the other transportation vehicles. Then Beşiktaş and Kadıköy receives the second and the third most transfer. Also, Beşiktaş is the district that gives the most transfers from şehir hatları to other transportation vehicles. When the people arrive at Beşiktaş, they will use the other transport vehicles to get there where they want to go. So, for example, let's look at the district within the the city, like Başakşehir, Sultan Gazi, maybe Eyüp Sultan, and these people living or starting from here, they started their trips from there, and they came to şehir hatları by using bus, subway, or other transportation vehicles to use şehir hatları to across the Anatolian side. We can see the number of people. So, why is so important to see this? Because the key is demand planning, especially on-demand planning. So the number of trips can be planned dynamically according to travel demands. And it is possible to build a public transportation system that works in coordination with the other lines by using data. So I mean that the new line proposal can be created with the travel demand for districts where they have not şehir hatları yet. So it is very easy to construct this with this the data-driven methods. So and also we can enlarge the graphics. We can see the details. It helps a lot. So in the next step, the intercontinental trips without the use of the şehir hatları were analyzed. It is important because from this analysis, we can establish how the trips are distributed between the regions and how they related to marine transportation. When we look at the change between the continents, more trips are seen from the Anatolian side to European side. So it is possible to see that, especially the trips on European sides. Okay. European sides, they are distributed from the certain locations to Anatolian side, while the trips on the Anatolian side are distributed almost equally from everywhere to European sides, as you can see. So if you again look at the places such as Büyükçekmece and Avcılar, Esenyurt, the number of people crossing without using the şehir hatları is quite high. It is possible to recover the demand with şehir hatları to be located here. And also, as you can see, the Anatolian side is very unequally distributed because there are the ferry lines between the related to other districts. So we understand the relationship between the origin and destination points. So if you want to see how these distributions are, and we can move on to next analysis. So here we can see which other transportation modes are transferred from şehir hatları. Most transfers were made to here the metro lines, which is also include Drivers metro line and the Marmaray. And on the Anatolian side, as you can see, the number of the trips. So then the European side, the most transfer were made from the tram line, T1, as you can see, and the other vehicles. So it can be concluded that the integration of the marine transportation with the rail system is important, and very important when we analyze the data. So as a result, while doing this, we want to interpret sea transportation with data, evaluate potential trips, and use data when we creating new lines and optimizing the existing lines. So we saw that we followed a successful path in the first step of study. And from now on, we want to continue our studies with a database management approach. So that's all I was going to present. Thank you all.